Welcome to your Optimal Personal Economy podcast with Justin Bennett. Your personal economy is your ability to create, protect, preserve, and utilize your wealth, your financial world. Justin will share strategies and stories to help you optimize your personal economy. Now, on to the show with Justin Bennett.
Hello and welcome to another podcast of Your Optimal Personal Economy here with Justin Bennett. I wanted to talk to you about this idea that a financial professional has a responsibility back to the clients they serve, and the clients have a responsibility to make a decision based on what they know is possible, which is a result of the conversation that the financial professional has with the client. And I think there's been some sort of a disconnect over the years of financial professionals trying to help the public with their planning. And financial professionals seem to me to march around and tell people you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that. And I don't know about you, but I know that I tend not to be very receptive when somebody's telling me what to do. I'm more of the thought process that would want to kind of self-discover or learn what it is that I want as a result of somebody helping me learn what it is that I want. And so we want to voice to our listeners. We want to voice to the people that we've served for many, many, many years now, and we anticipate serving for many, many, many years going forward, that our approach has to be just that. We have to be able to recognize, we want people to realize that it's our responsibility to show them what's possible, and it's their responsibility to decide what to do. So let me give you an example. So an example would be around saving new money. Okay, it's a big topic, it's a big conversation, and there's a lot of different moving parts to it. There's a lot of dynamics to that. And we will never tell a client that they need to stop spending money on what they're spending money on. I don't care what it is, cars, houses, watches, shopping, etc., experiences, whatever it might be. We're not going to ever tell somebody that they should not spend money and they should stop doing what they want to do, because that's not our responsibility. It's not our responsibility to tell them what to do around spending new money or spending money, right? It's our responsibility to show a client what's possible with their protection and wealth building if they decided that they were going to save new money at a 20% savings rate. Okay, so it's our responsibility to define what an optimal new money savings rate would look like, which is going to be 20% of one's income, wherever the income might be, 100,000, 500,000, a million, 5 million. The number associated with the income, okay, is just the income itself, but a new money savings rate that's optimal in definition would be 20% of that. And so if you just use, for ease of numbers, $1 million of income, it's 20% of $1 million is $200,000. We feel it's the responsibility of our firm to show the client what life will look like if they were to save at that level and do it for an extended period of time, and what that wealth creation would look like if you add some growth rate to it, and you also incorporate, a nominal increase in that income year over year, and you save at that 20% optimal savings rate. So we're responsible to showing them what's possible. And then if somebody decides that they want to make a stronger level of commitment, they want to instill more discipline within their financial world, and they want to save closer to that number because they're not currently saving at that number, then it's up to them to do it or to not do it. And so we're never going to say, hey, turn over your bank ledgers. Let's look at your last 12 months of your checking account and see where you're spending money, and let's make a determination where you should stop spending money and what restaurants you should no longer go to because they charge you too much for the meal, or your car is too expensive and it has a fancy engine, and so you put expensive gas in it, so you should get a cheaper car and therefore put cheaper gas into it. Like, we're not going to do that. That's not what we feel is the right thing for our clients. It's not the right thing for people that we're introduced to who may end up becoming new clients. And so we want to just show them what's possible. So we'll show them this optimal new money savings rate of 20%. And if we were to model that out on a go forward basis, what that would look like with respect to a reasonable and oftentimes a conservative growth rate, and that being saved back onto one's balance sheet, and what that number could look like on a linear basis. And it may not end up being exactly what the number works out to be, but it gives clients an understanding directionally what can be expected if they wanted to make that decision to save at that optimal new money savings rate. Okay, another example that I would just make mention of that we feel it's our responsibility to show a client is closely tied back to that income, whatever the income may be, 100,000, 500,000, a million, or 5 million. But what they need to understand is that there's the possibility, if they work with the proper financial professional, that the financial professional would let that client know that if they take their current income level and they multiply it by the number of years that they anticipate working going forward, they're able to protect up to that dollar amount with respect to replacement value of their life. Okay? So a financial institution would be willing to and agreeable to protect the future value of one's current income. Okay, so let's just use some numbers. So if someone is generating $1 million of income, we just use that same income level, and they anticipate working for another 20 years, that's $20 million, right? 1 million times 20 years is $20 million. So there's the ability to protect $20 million of income from a pure wealth replacement, human life value perspective. And so it's our responsibility to let the clients know that that's possible. That's what's in the realm of opportunity. And then the client can make a decision based on that replacement value, how much they may want to protect. They want to protect all of it. They want to protect some of it. They don't want to protect any of it, right? It's not our responsibility to decide for the client how much they want to protect. It's the client's responsibility to decide how much they want to protect. Now, I would say that the clients that we work with, just from a philosophy standpoint, are similar to ourselves in that they want to protect as much as they can, right? Because they understand that living a life of abundance is a lot different than living a world of scarcity. And so if you're going to protect as much as you possibly can, and you know what's possible in terms of what can be protected, well, then we're just trying to figure out how to design their planning so that it could be protected, maybe all of it, if that's what they want, right? So this whole idea of a financial professional telling somebody what they should do, we're not big fans of it. We don't operate that way. And so we want to, have a strong level of commitment back to the people we serve to let them know what's possible. It's our responsibility to do that, and it's the client's responsibility to decide what it is that they want to do with regards to that particular area of their planning that we may be talking about. New money savings, protecting future income, the amount of risk that they may want to take on inside of their investment account, the way in which they would want to transition their assets to an upcoming generation, or maybe 2 generations from now, the amount of liquidity that they would want to have if they were living an optimal balance with respect to how much money's on hand to address planned and unplanned life events, right? So they could have less than what optimal is if that's what they decide to do, but it's our responsibility to let them know, to define, to outline what optimal is and why, and then they could make their own decisions. So we will continue to make it our responsibility to serve the people, let them know what's possible, as long as they understand it's their responsibility to then decide what it is they want to do.
Justin Bennett, registered representative of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, PAS, OSJ Northeast Planning Corporation, 1150 Raritan Road, Suite 201, Cranford, New Jersey, 07016, 908-709-0020. Securities products offered through PAS, member FINRA SIPC. Financial representative of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, Guardian, New York, New York. PAS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Bennet Financial Group LLC is not an affiliate or subsidiary of PAS or Guardian. California Insurance License Number 0H88104. This podcast is for informational purposes only. Guest speakers and their firms are not affiliated with or endorsed by PAS, Guardian, or Bennet Financial Group LLC, and opinions stated are their own.
2020-112656, expiry 11 of 22.